Alright, we've got not so much a request, but it came up in Discord, so I'm going to make an Amir game solo on Insane. The problem with Amir, I think, if I don't exit game, but if I go to Amir, his abilities are not that great. His passive is literally just having ears. If you get a tiny little triangle on the screen, and it's just not that great. Orbital surveillance, also fairly useless. That one's just have eyes. So you've got just have ears, just have eyes. And the last one, it's just weak. But we will play it anyway. And we will see how we go. Hopefully still doing alright. Seeing as, well, just seeing as that's what I'd like to hope that we can do. Basically. The carbine rifle is the #1 weapon to use for a run like this, same as running it with the SMG. The carbine with explosive rounds, lead poisoning, and resourcefulness is the best build in the game, without a doubt. It's the only build to have. And then the SMG with the holster helper and weakness exploitation is another fantastic, just great starting point. So seeing as we are Amir, this is going to be a little bit interesting for myself, as I don't play Amir that often, as I do find that Jurgen is just the best hero in the game, and why would you play anything except the best? So we'll see how we go. Again, he's already low. Wow. That is ridiculous. I can't believe how weak he really is, just based off that quick rotation there. But we'll see how we go long term. I don't see myself using his orbital laser that much, particularly if you're playing solo, as his orbital laser just makes him vulnerable to being attacked. I'm sure people have felt that before when they've played him. But yeah, so we'll run through and we'll try and get the 6 containers. We'll still try to do a 5-star run if we can without dying. It is currently looking like it's going to be a lot harder than I first thought. But, you know, that's what we get. We think we're so good at the game, and then we try to play something else that's not totally broken. Game's a little bit harder. This is for any of my students watching this is what we call going into the learning pit, because I don't know how to play this guy that well. So what we're still doing is we're trying to just keep an eye out, which we wouldn't typically do because we don't typically have the just use eyes ability. But it is still, the majority of the time it will be jumping. Our biggest issue being the fact that he has lower health plus no easy way to heal and reload. That is what Jurgen's whole strategy is about, is just being able to reload without worry, reposition and heal, all without needing to worry about what's coming at you in any direction. Given where the black box was, it does, and that one there, it definitely means that there'll be one over here and one further down, even though I haven't hit the what's it called, the drone, to tell me where the stuff is going to be. That's just through knowing that that one spot that we hit just before means that these other two locations are a must, or are a definite, because there's only two different spawn patterns for anything. Again, that comes from just playing the game a lot, and also through the help of through helping Raptor make a map that showcases everything. So rather than it just being in my head, you can actually visually see it, which would make things easier for a lot of people, I imagine. Oh, okay, I actually must have misspoke. I thought that that wasn't there, but that's alright. We can have a look at one of the locations it could have been, which would have been just here. It's not there, but that's just too bad, so sad. It won't be the end of the world, the fact that I missed that black box. That's just poor planning on my part, to be honest. I thought I had not seen an infestation. I keep going to click my F whenever I'm in a position where I would need to reload. That is not the case on Amir, unfortunately. On Amir, you do have to play a little bit safer, which will be interesting because I'm not in particular, not particularly a safe player. When I play the game, I know that Jurgen will just have my back if I need to. And by have my back, just let me go invisible if I get into a position that is poor. Which quite often happens, which is probably another reason I like Jurgen. So I'm just missing one crate, which was bound to show up. And it does, straight away. But there'll be another one just outside the hollow as well. Because based off this one, there'll be one here, one there, and one up there. So knowing some of that sort of information is useful, but not 100% necessary. So like I said, it'll be about there and here. Oh, I said there. Whatever. Close enough. If you're paying attention, I clearly know what I'm talking about. But we'll just keep going. We'll get this 5-star happening, and like I said, hopefully no deaths, because that will look very awkward. Okay, we'll grab that radar relay in a sec. That hollow we can do as well. I didn't even notice that. Again, with the hollows, you can typically run through the dinos. I will heal up beforehand just because I'm not playing Jurgen. But you should still, even without playing Jurgen, you should still be able to run past the dinos. I don't think that part changes, given the fact that typically I would run past the dinos as Jurgen, so his abilities aren't actually in play when you're doing that. So looking at that, that all works as I would expect it to. We'll throw the shock grenade down. We'll throw another one, just because we can't go invisible as Amir, as opposed to Jurgen, which again, best hero in the game. No need to play anything else. Alright, we'll grab that the radar, the camp, and the container, and then we'll jump into the charged extraction zone. Because I'm not going to come back here, even though I had like a smidgen of health, I'll heal and grab that that equipment, because there's no way I run back up to where I was. So again, if you can take equipment when you're playing solo, take it, especially if you're not going to go back there. Like, I don't see any reason why I would go back up to that radar after I'd already grabbed everything. I will most likely avoid doing an extraction at an Anki zone though, given the fact I am playing Amir. Not that I don't think I could do it, but we want the best chance possible, and Amir already is the weakest hero in the game. I'm not sure, I don't care what anyone else says, he's the weakest. It could be the fact that I think he's weak solo, so that could be impacting on my opinion, but I just find that all of the others, including Jack, who I don't think's that crash hot either, is better. So as I said last time, you want to do B first, so you'll click A, you'll click B. Oh, did I not click that? Well, that's poor. I was going too quick, so it looks like we're doing A first. You do want to do B first, typically. That was a clear misclick. But that's okay. We'll just jump up and we'll do it this way instead. It's still not the end of the world, it's just kind of a bit how you going. To be honest, probably not even that bad. So typically it comes straight out of there to the right, but you want to come here. If you end up going the wrong way, you want to come that way. The other way, you come out there from there and you come across. Again, that's just from knowing the game. So I knew that this one's still coming, and then I actually don't think that affected our time at all. Not really. You want to definitely put B across first, because you can put B across the lift and then click the lift to go straight down. Which again is what you want to do for maximum efficiency, but did I not click that as well? That's sad. I've missed them both times. I might need to slow myself down. I'm going too quick. Okay. Well, that's a little bit awkward, considering I was like, oh yeah, let's quickly make this video. We'll show someone how to do it, or how I would do it. And then I've stuffed it up twice already. Oh, stuff ups come in threes, so you know, hopefully we don't die as one of our third stuff ups, because that would be awkward. No, that's gonna go, it's gonna get stopped. So what you would have done is you would have had all of this already completed roughly at the same time. I've butchered the job. There's no ifs or buts about it. I butchered it, but again, with the explosive rounds, it shouldn't be that hard. I still think that explosive rounds are broken, but Jurgen in himself is more what is broken than the explosive rounds. in his kit, that is. So what we're going to do is we'll quickly grab this. We'll do that one. And that. Again, like I said, I'm a little bit behind where I would typically normally be. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. If I was to do this properly, I probably would have done 2 or 3 runs before filming one. But, hey. It is what it is, as they say. So that one needs to go. I should have probably grabbed ammo there, but I can just as easily grab it in this next spot. Down here there will be ammo as well. So it's not the end of the world. And we'll even grab the equipment just cause. So because A is already in position, I'm going to run around to A. I personally prefer to run this way, where you'll go A then B and then run from there. So you run straight round, hit them both, and then you avoid all of the hollows. There's no point hitting them. Unless you needed the points, which we won't be because we're already farming for 5-star later. So you will just leave them and just run straight past. Again, you can see the little arrows, which is what I say is the Amir passive, that is just have ears. As you can see, they're actually really quite hard to see. And they're not very, so it's not useful. Not useful at all. Ah yes, there's a few enemies that direction behind me. Not helping you at all. The ears you have on your head are what is helping you. No. I will run straight past, we won't bother looking at the explosion. So we're still 1100 points out from being where we need to be. So the quickest way for this would be to run to Voltus, most likely. However, without playing Jurgen, I'm not convinced that's the best way. Because of where that dropship was as well, it was either going to be up here, which you couldn't see smoke, but you could see smoke there. Again, I did that without, I wasn't talking about what I was doing then, but from seeing where that dropship was, I was already thinking about what 3 locations could have the black box in it. So I was already looking roughly in those directions, thus having a larger field of view is useful. Yeah, so now I'm just going to keep running and trying to find anything to hit that's worthwhile. I should have probably turned around, but I started running this way without thinking about it. Again, I likely won't even use Amir's laser this entire time, because, like I said, unless you're in a position of power, like say you're up on a ledge where you're not going to get hit, it's really not that useful, because you are just opening yourself up, especially at a higher difficulty. You're opening yourself up to getting destroyed by using it. I could see how that's useful, being able to see that he's walking up. But again, still don't love Amir. Don't think he's really worthwhile. Alright, so that'll get some of that. We'll go out towards the emergence event, because why not? We'll see whether we can't do it with Amir. Again, you gotta try and make the game a little bit of a challenge for yourself after you've played it for quite some time. Says the guy who only plays Jurgen, but I do find that Jurgen I have the most fun with. Probably because he's broken, but not just because of something like that. Like it's... yeah, it's basically just you keep moving. I made a mistake by getting hit just then. But we'll be able to fix that up as we go down the hill. I'm actually not convinced I'll be able to do this part. Typically, if I was going 5-star, I'd get close and then I'd let myself get killed so that I could go to a weaker area or a lower threat area. But for the sake of this video, we are going to try do it as people might do, which I am actually finding to be a lot harder than I thought. But it might be the shock grenades that I just have to use. Similar to how I would typically use my satchel to go invisible. It'll be the shock grenades will do that. If you're not jumping when you're using your abilities as well, that's another surefire way to actually affect your ability to play. Surely he's... there we go. Happy days. And then we should be able to grab some stuff. Heal up. And then we can go. There we go. Okay, so it can be done. It's just... that was a little bit hectic, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I don't typically play not on my guy. And I could see how this game is a lot harder if you're not playing the most overpowered hero, not champion. Alright, because that's there, I'm just going to go this way and get this other 42, then do the what are they called? The infestation. Because I'm likely going to extract at Alton Valley. I don't think it's a great idea to try and, as much as I keep saying, oh yes, it's not that hard, I don't feel like it. Extracting with the blue raptors, that is. The blue raptors are quite difficult. Mutated raptors, that is. Are quite a lot harder than you would want them to be. Again, when healing yourself, make sure you're jumping backwards. Or just in general, always make sure you're jumping backwards. You could cheese this right now and just jump on top. We won't, but that is an option that you do have. I don't actually have any more health packs, so that's not great. I'm not going to do that. We will run back to where our health packs are. Seeing as that's not quite working the way we want. Yeah. Seeing as that's not quite working the way I want it to, do it this way. It'll still get us the same, the gist of what we're trying to do. It's just not quite as useful. Again, like I said, Amir is not the solo hero you want, nor is he the solo hero you need. He's just a hero. He's not great. He might be better in a team situation, as some people have suggested, but I still don't see him being his skills of being able to see enemies being better than you're already having the ability to hear them. But that's just me. So if you're not always moving with him though, you will even have a harder time. So if I wasn't jumping that whole time, I would not be able to deal with that. I'm going to just run out here now, and I'm heading out just to Alton Valley because I just want to get out. Now that I've gotten to the point where I'm like, Amir's certainly not for me. I was like, oh yeah, I can totally do this. Until I try. If we should, Jurgen was better. Gosh. I just looked at some of the Discord comments after I said that I'd do this, and it's pretty funny. The fact that someone thinks Jurgen needs to be better. Oh, yeah. Alright. Let's make sure we don't die, because that would be very awkward. I'm going to be in a bit of strife on my way through here. I'm just going to throw the, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so by throwing the shock grenades down, that made that a lot easier. I was a little bit concerned that I was just going to get slaughtered on that run in then. As opposed to what is already happening as I get slaughtered trying to open up this this camp. Alright, that's alright. We're well and truly at the 5-star mark. I just need to get myself out of here by this point. But yeah, I can't believe someone would actually think that Jurgen needs a buff. If anything, he needs a 2-second nerf on his invisibility. Unless, of course, that is the carbine that needs the nerf instead. Which could be the issue as well. I don't particularly want carbine to be nerfed though, because it is just the best. But that's probably the definition of why something needs to be nerfed, is if it is the best without a doubt. But I don't think everyone really knows that yet, because it is harder to use. So what we're just trying to do at the moment is just avoid damage. Much harder to do on Amir than it is on Jurgen. I went here to try and avoid these blue raptors, and then I went down. Wow. Okay. That's down for sure. Alright. That's unfortunate. I was like, oh yeah, we're doing fine. Nope. So yeah, you will still go down. Looks like maybe I'm not as good as I think I am at the game. That's a possibility just as much. But that's how I would run this mission, going through it. It's been a lot harder than playing as Jurgen. You can still do it without dying, like that last death. Iffy. Probably could have stayed alive. But the dropship should straight be here, and I think I had enough. Yeah. Yeah, by the time you jump out, just just because it was 20 points if you extract at a green zone. So that was lucky. I didn't actually check my 5-star rating there. But that's alright. So that's how you would do it as Amir, or how I might do it. I don't think I would change up a huge amount, other than perhaps not for getting the 5-star. I wouldn't have gone towards the blue dinos, because they actually turned out to be a lot harder than I was anticipating. Again, still not a great, not a terrible time. But yeah, if you're interested, suggest another hero, and I'll try and play that one. For the rest of it, happy dino hunting.